I don't even know why I'm telling this story, but it still makes me laugh even though it's been 3 years. 3 years ago, my best friend and I met two people through a mutual friend, and they quickly became very close friends of ours. I'll refer to them as friends and friend EF. One June afternoon, we decided to go for a walk around my neighborhood. It was an incredibly hot day. Summer had arrived suddenly. The day before, it was freezing, and the next day to survive, you needed at least 6 freezing cold showers. After our walk, my best friend suggested we go for some ice cream. Friend F and I decided to get a simple milkshake, while my best friend got a giant ice cream. After finishing our ice cream, we decided to go to a park that had just opened near my house. This park was built on 2 levels, with a bridge passing over it. In fact, the only part of the park with some shade was the second level, but it was inaccessible since the grass hadn't been cut and there were barriers. However, we decided to go down anyway. My best friend had his head resting on Friends' shoulder, and at one point, Friends pointed out that my best friend had fallen asleep. I tried to wake him up, thinking he was just joking, but he wouldn't wake up. We started to get worried and laid him down on Friends' legs, who was holding his head. After a while, he woke up and started having what seemed like a panic attack, which I've never really understood. I think he got scared and had a panic attack. He even started having some kind of hallucinations. For example, he started calling the name of a friend who wasn't with us, and I tried to explain to him that she wasn't there, but he told me I was crazy and that our friend was behind me, pointing to an empty space where no one was. At one point, a girl who was passing over the bridge noticed us and shouted if we needed help. We said no, literally. If it wasn't for that girl, my best friend might have died, LMAO. But luckily, she didn't listen to us and came to help. After calling the ambulance, the girl left, and friend F and I went to the park exit to wait for the ambulance. After literally 20 minutes, the medical team finally arrived. Upon seeing my best friend's condition, they started asking us millions of questions, especially me. While two of the doctors were trying to figure out what was wrong with my best friend, one of them interrogated me for about 15 minutes. He kept asking me if my best friend had smoked weed, and I kept telling him that none of us smoked and he hadn't taken anything. Of course, he didn't believe me, and at one point he started threatening me, saying that if he had actually smoked, I needed to tell him, because if they gave him any medication, it could interact with the drugs and kill him. I don't even know if that's true, but at that moment, I got really angry and told him that I didn't care about protecting myself. My friend was unwell, and no, he hadn't smoked. Eventually, he believed me and asked me and friend F to take my best friend's phone to call his parents. We handed the phone to the doctor, and suddenly he turned towards us with a scared look and told us that his parents were in another country. Friend F and I looked at each other shocked because none of us knew that. We later found out that his parents had gone away for their anniversary. So we called his aunt, and once the call was finished, the doctors had to help my best friend stand up because they couldn't bring the stretcher down the stairs. We followed them to the ambulance where his aunt had already arrived, and we said our goodbyes. When the ambulance left, friend F and I stood there staring at the empty space for a few minutes. Then, in the following days, when I spoke with my best friend, he told me that he had spent about 3 days in the hospital. Apparently, because of the heat and that very cold ice cream, he theoretically had some sort of thermal shock that made him feel unwell. Till this day, I have no idea what the heck happened that day.